What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us,
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
Thought about the good things about Europe. What would you say is the obvious side of that past week that you've been here? You do have homeless people in Europe, although the pictures don't show you that. You have several homeless people begging, all of that. Do they sell roll hard? Hear that in Europe? Based on conversations I've had with some friends in Germany, some of them don't shower as often as we, like in Jamaica where, because it's hot, so we shower in the morning, we come home from work or from school, and then we shower again before going to bed. I get that, but even in school, and you bathe and you shower once, you ought not to smell like that. It's like all of them that smell bad have that 1 cent. Okay. It's like a universal European stench. Never really recognize them. Whoa. And some is stronger than the other. It's just, yeah. So there's been that. Here, the pickpocketing.
Do we comment on that? I'm just saying. Okay, this is what I'm gonna say. When it's hot, and we know for us to sweat, we got activities, then we got night shifts, then we got to bathe for that as well. And you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. We do take, numerous showers.
We do.
God here is saying that you can't hide your stench in this cold.
You got to take a bath.
You got to take that bath, bro.
You got to take the bath.
It's mandatory.
You got to take the bath. You got to... Y'all be asking me about my skincare routine a lot, and it just don't fit with the content that we do. But once we start traveling, I got y'all.
He said it, y'all. It's out now. The cat is out the bag. Amazing.
Yeah, I said the cat is out the bag.
All right.
Very little recognize them, man. It may be also that stage. I mean, no, you don't. And some is stronger than the other. It's just, yeah. So there's been that. Here, the pickpocketing, it's real. I mean, when you see a sign that literally says, beware of pickpockets in a city, you would be, you don't see it on Google, but when you actually come here, you do see it. Amsterdam, for example, was dirty. Like, it's a mess. It reminded me of downtown Kingston. And in fact, downtown Kingston, Jamaica is cleaner than Amsterdam. Everywhere else. Especially on the weekends. Especially on the like all these people that are partying there, you walk into the streets and it's just one big mess. That was a shock, but
what he said, they what?
Like, hey, it's my cool, this is not bad on the weekends. Especially on the like all these people that are partying there, you walk into the streets and it's just one big mess. That was a
bro, these guys are loose.
They don't have no filter.
Golly.
They say it's stank.
That's what we're sitting on right now. That's the conversation. It's going back to that. Hey man, I mean, people do put on the cologne. Some people do get fresh. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to even say that's the case though. I'm saying some people actually just put it on and they're good to go. Okay. But when the numbers outweigh the one, you're kind of in the mix.
Steer clear of walking around during the weekend.
Bro, we just was in Kingston watching the video when we seen the beauty of it. You know what I'm saying? It was nice. So it's the comparative to is crazy, yo.
Oh. I think we may have reacted to that side of Amsterdam. I think it was during the week though, so we didn't really see the real side. They said.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Bro, we just a few minutes in. We just they are cooking.
They told me like, hey, it's my cool, this is not bad. Like, the question that every Jamaican asks, racism, discrimination. I haven't experienced it.
Bro, wait a minute. Whoa, why was they screaming Jamaican like that? Like, the shock. That's what I'm getting. They was shocked to meet a gentleman from Jamaica. But it's only a clip. We didn't see the full thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's whoa.
And it's hard to be in those situations because you can't get in trouble in somebody else's country.
Yeah, man, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have different mental and thought patterns. They don't see it how the other person may see it. So the response is totally different. I get that.
Yeah.
But yo, it just makes other people, uncomfortable. And again, we don't know the full loop around when it comes to this, but I did rewind it.
And I do know, people judge people just off of the country that they come from.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is different. It's just y'all know when we're reacting to these videos, we're trying to share differences, share similarities, and I'm trying to put myself in that mindset, and I'm like,
it's not a greeting to scream
me.
out Jamaican.
I don't
know about that.
And if somebody was publicly trying to make fun of me like that,
yeah, I'm just saying though, like there's a level of uncomfortability that comes with that because you're not used to being screamed at about who you are and where you're from. Like American, no crazy, like.
And
but I did rewind
restrain yourself.
But I did rewind it. Let's hear it.
It's not bad. Maybe like the question that every Jamaican asks, racism, discrimination. I haven't experienced it. What? I haven't. Or at least I did not know I experienced it. I have. I don't think I've experienced discrimination. In fact, I find that a lot of the people here are friendly. More so on the eastern side of Europe as opposed to the west. Why do you think people always have this assumption, especially when it comes to Europe, that Europe, racism, discrimination is the normal thing here? Most of these European countries were colonizers, and they colonized black people, and they colonized and they participated in the slave trade, and they treated black people like lesser thans, like cattle, and you work for me and all of that. Which is why I told you, in as much as I visited the palaces in a lot of these countries where the king and queen live, I said I'm not taking pictures of them. I don't care to memorize or just say, because in as much as I've seen it and that adds to my experience, I don't think it should be glamorized because these people built this same castle that I'm looking at now because of my ancestors' work was for free and they were being enslaved. That sort of rings home to you when you actually go and you see these royal palaces and you're like, all of this was built because you enslaved my ancestors and the money that you earned, you built this vast infrastructure and it's now commercialized and I'm supposed to pay to tour it? Hell no.
I'm supposed to pay the tour. And that's a crazy thing because when you do your research on it, oftentimes they show you the person that is the owner of the building and they say that this individual is the reason for the building to be up, but he didn't build it. He just have the paperwork in hand to say that I'm the owner of it. You know what I'm saying? So but the groundwork is the groundwork and we all know how that go.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the plantations. Because people still get married at the plantations. They still glamorize the plantations. They still be like, oh, it's so beautiful and this and that. And a lot of our plantation tours here only glorify the owners of the plantations. The owners, right? Correct. There's only one plantation that I know of here in the United States that tells our perspective, and that's the Whitney plantation. That's the only plantation that will ever get my money. And I've been to all of the plantations, really. I've toured all of them throughout my life.
No, I think it should be free for black people to tour royal palaces, although we don't care to. But it should be free because we actually pay for it. Just see. I think that's also the conflict in my mind all the times living in Europe, where it's like living on this continent and living in some of these countries that were responsible for the problems that are in some of these countries in the Caribbean and in Africa and so on. Somehow feeling like I'm a part of the problem. No, you're taking reparations. Okay. You're taking reparations. I can see, but like all of those benefits, a 6-week vacation leave, unlimited sick days, reparation. One of your observations when we went to France was you saw way more black people there. Oh, yeah. So in Germany, it was like white. And then in France, it was like black. Like, I'm not even talking my skin color black. I'm talking like black. Like, way blacker than me. That also led me to go back to the history again. France colonized a lot of African territories. And so a lot of those French Africans are actually in France. They've migrated to France to, make a better life for themselves. And the generations go from there and there. What I also recognize about France, which is what I don't like, is that, and check it out for yourself, all the janitors that you see, all the persons that are selling on the streets, the beggars are black people. Yeah? So there's also that disparity, that socioeconomic disparity that is evident to even a tourist, not knowing anything about the country. It's very evident. But not just in France, I think across Europe, a lot of these, these type of jobs, are the immigrants that are taking over these jobs. So yeah, just like most people are familiar with that in the US where, you know, the immigrants are the one that do these type of jobs because the Americans don't want to do it. And here it's just the same as well. Absolutely the same. Yeah. Looking at the weed culture back in Jamaica in comparison to what you saw in Amsterdam or in Netherlands in general, what are some of the things that stand out to you? The people are smoking everywhere. Most of the stores, they're playing some Bob Marley or some Stephen Marley or Damian Marley or Junior Gong. They will play some Rasta music. The products there are heavily regulated as well. The things there highly regulated. The THC is low. You're not getting the feel that you would get from actual, like, pure strain weed. I'm no connoisseur on marijuana. So what are the cannabis? After using all these terms, and somebody's like, no. Yeah, but, you know, just saying. I never tried weed in Jamaica before. Never. I think that's also interesting because when I tell most people, like, I've never smoked weed before or never had any of these products, they're like, but you're from Jamaica, like, how is it possible? It's easy to stay away from it. Yeah, exactly. It's very easy to stay away because it's illegal. And here, well, it's decriminalized, so you can have 2 ounces on you. Okay.
Crazy.
I'm guilty of that. Not anymore, but I'm guilty of that. Because when we learned about Jamaica from our people, not from school or anything, from our elders, when we learned of Jamaica, we were taught about the Rastas. We was taught about the reggae music. We was taught about, you know, the lifestyle. You know what they do, Bob Marley, you know, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we was taught. So I only looked at Jamaicans as one image. You know, and I guess it's because that's all I knew.
Nah, that's a fair thing to say because when that's all you know, that's all you can think about. You know what I'm saying? You have to have a blanket kind of, you know, visual about them until you can get some interaction and start to really do research about it as you grow and learn. But I feel everyone has a blanket, you know, perspective when it comes to a lot of groups of people. You know what I'm saying? And it's all, and some people have real ignorant blanket perspectives. But at the end of the day, all those stereotypes can be broken when you have those real interactions.
Yeah, and when you seek the information for yourself.
Seek the information for yourself.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, as a teenager, that's how I thought of Jamaicans until I went to college and I met a Jamaican. Yeah. And I'm like, girl, you don't look like you like that, you know, with that lifestyle.
Yeah.
What? I mean, I was about to do it. What? But, you know, like she was very preppy, you know.
Hey, so. But they will talk about their food, though.
Yeah.
That's one thing I do know. They're going to talk about that.
You wouldn't know that. It happened on your... Okay. No, actually, it happened before you left. It happened in 2015. Do you think Jamaica will ever get to that point where yourself said, okay, do whatever you want with it? For Myrie, let me ask it this way. Why is it that countries like Netherlands or even in Czech Republic, like yesterday when I went to buy water, I bought 2 bottles of water, and then while I was paying, the guy was like, yeah, do you want to buy some weed? It was just hanging right there in a bag. Why? What's the difference? Why is it that these countries can, you know, go that way, but then Jamaica's like, yeah, well, there are several factors. The Europeans used a lot as a part of the tourism. And frankly speaking, for a colonialist country gets away with a lot of things. Enough that definitely colonized countries don't get away with. And so you find that in the stratosphere of geopolitics, it's really these hegemonic states that lead the way with these sort of progressions. And then once they kind of, you know, allow for these things to happen, then smaller countries and former colonized countries like Jamaica can follow. Then there's US influence on Jamaica and the Caribbean as well, where, you know, you have the guns for drugs trade and all of that. And in as much as the guns for drugs trade is more coke, heroin and all of that, it's done in such a way that it needs to be regulated. Do I think it needs to be regulated? Not as much as it's being regulated right now in Jamaica. So for example, to have a weed business, you have to go to the cannabis licensing authority, and it costs thousands of US$ just to get that license. So
you know that this is gonna always bother me, because how in history you are getting, you know, booked, jailed, and sentenced for the same thing they're allowing people to sell over the counter now? That is gonna always trigger me, like, because I don't understand that. Like, And that's so much more. That's really so much more that you can dive into it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It gets really deep, but that's just the surface of it. How can you have someone incarcerated for the same thing that you're allowing people to do today with a license? And the ones who are big selling it's
money.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
That's why money.
Automatically, you rule out certain, not we have no regular, it's more the business people. So
Business
it
people.
becomes highly commercialized as opposed to here. The man in the corner shop can say, "Oh, you want to buy something?" Like, you know, which is kind of weird. I mean, when the guy in the shop asked me, you know, it was kind of like flashbacks to Jamaica, where it's like, you know, like somebody's just like, yeah, perhaps when it's legalized in the entire United States, Jamaica can say it, let Jamaica just, yeah, and. To my mind, Jamaica has lost out on a lot of weed business because, for example, Canada legalized in the entire United States. Or by something like, you know, which is kind of weird. I mean, when the guy in the shop asked me, you know, it was kind of like flashbacks to Jamaica, where it's like, you know, like somebody's just like, yeah, perhaps when it's legalized in the entire United States, Jamaica can say it, let Jamaica just, yeah, and. To my mind, Jamaica has lost out on a lot of weed business because, for example, Canada legalized and decriminalized weed before we even thought of decriminalizing it. And Canada is not exporting weed, and their weed is not growing in such a good condition as worse. Exactly, they don't have the climate. So, like, things were pretty. I think there is that geopolitics at play, and frankly speaking, I just think we're somewhat backward with more progress in the smaller developing states. We're very backward. And I think it's also interesting, like these countries that have legalized it and so on, the marketing for it is usually most times Jamaican marketing. Exactly. Whereas, like, you know, they're picking for the, okay, Bob Marley, or again, you're going to the stores, you're seeing Rasta people, you know, sure. You're seeing pictures of Bob Marley, you're hearing the Rasta music. So they're using... That's the
brand.
I mean, but they're branding them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, the seller knows its environment, and when it's time to sell a certain product, regardless of what it is, they know who's the audience, and the audience has to fit with what's being sold and the surroundings. You know what I'm saying? So if it looks like me, if it smells like me, if it sounds like me, then I'm walking in and I'm going to peep it out to see what I'm doing in there and what they got to offer me. So
because when people look at Jamaicans, that's one of the top 3 things they think about.
Right. And then you see the beanies, and then you see the locks hanging out outside the stores, and it's like,
the Jamaican colors.
The colors, especially that. Yeah. The image.
Some packages have a silhouette of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
His head on packaging. I don't even know if they could do that. But they do it.
Yeah, but we are where we are with it. I mean, so there you go.
We're gonna stop right there, man. Make sure you check his channel out. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I don't think this video was to bash Europe in any sort of way, but I feel like everyone do have right to their own opinion and what they're going through on a regular basis. Y'all hear us criticize where we at all the time. You know what I'm saying?
We praise it too.
So, and we talk about the good as well. Plenty good stuff as well. But I feel like everybody need a little balance. Gotta have some balance.
The thing is, I feel that people are not mature enough to hear other people's perspectives on things. They take it as people being defensive. They take it as people not being appreciative of where they are. That's the problem.
It's no different from environment. If you grew up in an environment that requires you to be tough, when you get around certain people that didn't grow up in a tough environment, they think you're being a bully, or they think you're being overly aggressive. And 9 times out of 10, it's just personality that they're displaying, and that's how they play. But some people don't take that too lightly. You know, they be like, "Oh, you're little, you know, you're doing too much." So
people just don't understand people, and until you get out of that mind frame and listen to what other people have to say, you'll never grow. You'll never open your mind to other perspectives. Videos like these are good for people like us, who looks like us, although they are people from the Caribbeans. At the end of the day, they still look at us the same.
100%.
The only difference is a passport.
Same boat, different locations.
Exactly, different stops.
Different stops. So, it takes me to a part where we was watching a video where the gentleman and his wife was eating soul food for the first time. And he was like, "We don't do spicy food," but then he put the hot sauce on the fried chicken, and boom, taste buds went to 100% next level. He's like, "I gotta do this more often."
Mind frame.
Mind frame change.
Mind
Get
frame
what we saying? So
okay.
That's perfect example.
Our channel is all about sharing our similarities and the differences.
Nah, 100%.
Nothing's wrong with that.
At all.
All right, go check out their channel. We hope you guys enjoy this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.